Welcome to the adventures of John Jonathan. He is a recently retired member of the Pentis Oculatus and now seeks to build an empire of his own. Thanks to the exceptional work of Skyrim modders, I am able to make this a reality. Starting a mining business to produce weapons for my army. Building a farm to feed my forces. Founding my own town as a place for my armies to stay and resupply. Building my own castle and becoming Jarl of the city around it to show my power. And finally, going to war with the Jarls of Skyrim to take my place as High King. Just before the video begins, please make sure to like the video and sub to the channel so you don't miss the rest of this series and other content I'm going to be making. The mining business is coming along well. It's running smoothly, and we're making a decent profit. I think it's about time we build some defences for this place, as it's very open to bandit attacks. So I got to work mining up some stone and collecting the ore that my mine had produced over the last few days, ready for construction of a guard tower. After some hard work, I got it done. I am now able to hire guards to patrol the premises. Of course, I did this immediately. I went to inspect the tower that I had built and got a survey of the land. As I was looking at the surrounding area, I noticed a bandit in an abandoned house nearby. I couldn't allow this and I went to battle. The bandit proved no problem for a man like John Jonathan, specially trained to protect the Emperor himself. However, we now had a different issue. Food. We were running low on supplies, and none of our crops were growing in the harsh environment. So, I got to work on constructing a fishery to have a short-term solution to this problem. When I was talking with my guards, they suggested I build a wall around the mine as it would make it much harder for bandits to attack. We sat down together and discussed where this wall would run as to not overstep our boundaries. The next day, I got straight to work. Our food supplies, however, were still an issue, and not one that I could ignore. So, I got the first carriage from Morthal to Whiterun. As I approached the city gate, I was marvelled. It was an even grander city than I had expected. Being at the centre of Skyrim, it was the perfect trading hub for me to buy supplies. When approaching this sign, however, I found an interesting note. The Jarl of the Pale has allowed for a farm to be sold. This could solve my food issue and bring in some extra coin. I had a talk with the deed owner and we came to an agreement. I was now the proud owner of my very own farm, so I set out thinking of all the possibilities now. This farm opened up many avenues for me. Thinking of all the different things I could grow on this farm, there were many things to be explored. Arriving at the farm, it was a total wreck. Not that this was a problem, I now had plenty of building experience. There was also a bandit living here that I made very quick work of. Upon further inspection of the farm, it was clear this was going to be difficult. I was very glad to have the money from the mine now, as it would aid me in the restoration of this place. I spent the next hour preparing my workstation, and during that time, the Jarl has now officially recognised me as the owner of the farm. First, I built fences around what would be my fields, and fixed up the old farmhouse so my workers would have a place to stay. And here we are. As you can see, we have a hearth, a room for the farmers to move into, and upstairs, a door to the balcony, and also some guards' quarters. I decided it was time to start focusing on developing my own space on the farm, so I furnished the office and the landlord's quarters in the basement of the farmhouse. The office here is similar to the one I had back on the mine. Ledgers to hire workers and manage the business, and some safes to hold my profits. The bedroom has an enchanting table, some wardrobes, a chest, and a comfortable bed for me to sleep in. At this point, I took a trip back to the mine as I was running low on ore and gold. This was reinvested to make a market stall, a windmill, and a water barrel. I then used some leftover materials to build a stable and a cart for transporting my produce to the mine. Using the iron, I made some iron fittings to make equipment my farmers would need to tend the fields. I was now ready to hire some farmers, solve my food crisis, and make some gold. Sigja here will be running the stall, selling goods to any travellers that come down the road. I took another trip to Whiterun and spoke to Carlotta about purchasing food from my farm from now on. I even gave her some of my produce to prove the value of this agreement. While here, I decided to take advantage of the workstations and improve my armour and then sharpen my sword. I needed to be the best warrior in Skyrim after all. When I got back to the farm, I worked on the walkways. This would serve as an access point to the broken down tower. Fixing that was my next goal. I got to work mining away in the rain at a clay deposit nearby. I was going to need a lot to form the base of the tower. My hard work paid off though, as I was able to finish the tower and now able to hire some guards. I looked out from the tower and took in the land. It was time to hire some protection. Not a moment too soon either. I woke up the next day to bandits attacking the farm. There was a mage, some warriors, and even a chief. They attempted to kill my horse, but me and my guards took care of them. I now had faith in their abilities. However, taking what the guard from the mine told me, and the fact bandits had now openly attacked, I decided to build a stone wall surrounding the farm. The wall was expensive, as we were putting it around the entire farm and it was quite large. However, it made me, my farmers, and my guards feel safer. Using the gold I had found off the bandits, and the money the farm had begun to make, I decided to make a greenhouse and some brewing vats. This homebrewed mead would keep the spirits of my miners and eventually my armies high, and keep them working hard. We have a greenhouse for growing mead ingredients, and I hired a brewer to make the mead. From here, I began expanding my farm's current operations. I made a second field for my crops, and a second greenhouse, but this time for alchemical ingredients. However, I would need space to house these new workers from the expansions. So, I used my experience from the mine to excavate a cave and lay down some wooden foundations. As you can see, there's plenty of room for any and all future employees. The next step was beginning to build actual lodgings. So I began my work on that. Now the cave is looking a lot more livable. With the farm expanded, I ordered some additional weapons and armour to be shipped from the mine. This allowed me to increase the number of guards and keep my farm safer. All that was left now was to order the equipment needed for my alchemist and my new farmers. The farm is now complete, and John's food problem is gone. Now he just needs to prepare somewhere for his armies to rest and resupply while on the road. Rumour has it, there's a town in the Rift that's fallen into disarray and is looking for a new leader. This will be a true test of John's ability to lead, and will prove if he has what it takes to be the next High King. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to see the rest of John's journey. Click on the video on the screen now to see another one of John's adventures.